Are you ready to learn the difference between used to, be used to, and get used to? If so, then keep watching this lesson. Welcome to English on the Mark. My name is Marek Pena, and today we will cover the meaning and form of used to, be used to, and get used to. Understanding how to use these phrases will help you communicate more effectively, and it will also help you sound more natural when speaking English. So, are you ready? Let's do this. We will begin with used to. I will give you a couple of examples first. Let's see if you are able to figure out the meaning. I used to live in London. Now I live in New York. He used to eat meat. Now he's a vegetarian. They used to drink coffee. Now they only drink tea. So what do you think? When do we use the phrase used to? We use the phrase used to talk about past habits and situations that are no longer happening. So, you did something regularly in the past, but now you don't do it anymore. Something happened on a regular basis in the past, but it no longer happens. Something was true in the past, but it is not true anymore. How do we form positive sentences with used to? Well, we need to use used to plus the base form of a verb. And that's the verb without to. He used to live alone. Live is the base form. They used to go to the movies every month. Go is the base form. How do we then make questions and negative statements? In order to do that, we need to use the helping verb do. Did he used to live alone? No, he didn't used to live alone. Did they used to go to the movies every month? No, they didn't used to go to the movies every month. So what about be used to? When do we use this form? We use be used to talk about something that is normal for us. We are comfortable with it. We are accustomed to it. We're talking about something that was strange to us at the beginning, but over time, it became normal. For example, after living in New York for over 10 years, I'm used to the noise. At first, I hated it. This constant city noise, the traffic noise, the noise of New York City subway, construction work. I was not used to it. I was not used to living in such a noisy place. But with time, all of this started to become normal. I was getting accustomed to it. And now I don't even hear it. I no longer pay attention to it. I am used to the noise. Let's look at one more example. After moving to London from Osaka, Akiko couldn't understand anyone. She was not used to the British accent. So at first, Akiko couldn't understand anyone. She was not accustomed to this new accent. So the words, phrases, and sentences sounded a bit strange. She was not familiar with this pronunciation. But after a couple of months, this new accent, this new way of pronouncing the words was no longer strange. And now she's able to understand everyone without any problems, because she is used to the British accent. So what about the sentence structure? If you had paid attention to my first example, you should have noticed that be used to can be followed by a noun, a pronoun, or a gerund, the ing form. So, I am used to the noise. Noise is a noun. I was not used to it. It is a pronoun. I was not used to living in such a noisy place. Living is a gerund. I briefly talked about gerunds in episode 6, so if you haven't watched it yet, go and check it out after this lesson is over. What about question formation and negative statements? These are very easy. You simply use the verb be to make these sentences. For example, is she used to eating spicy food? No, she's not used to eating spicy food. Are they used to getting up so early? No, they're not used to getting up so early. And if you want to refer to the past, make sure to use was or were. For example, was he used to living alone? No, he was not used to living alone. A quick recap. So far, we've learned that used to always refers to the past, and we use it to talk about things that happened in the past, things that are true in the past. For example, George used to play tennis, but he doesn't do it anymore. Then we learn that be used to can be used for the present, the past, and the future, although the future form is not very common. And be used to refers to things that we are accustomed to, things that are normal for us. For example, I am used to living in New York City. But wait a minute, how did I get here? How did living in New York City become normal for me? How did I get accustomed to living in New York City? And this is where the phrase get used to comes into place. Keep in mind that be used to and get used to are quite similar in meaning. The difference is that we use get used to talk about the process of becoming accustomed to something. Something that was strange, not usual at first, is becoming normal. So when I first moved to New York, everything was different. Everything seemed a bit strange. I had to get used to the noise. I had to get used to using public transportation. I had to get used to everything because there were a lot of things I needed to learn. But eventually, after a couple of months, I got used to it. I got used to living in New York. Think of it this way. When you start something new, let's say a new job, on the first day, do you feel comfortable with everything right away? Probably not. It's your first day. Everything is new. You have a lot to learn. But after a month, are you getting used to everything? For sure, you're slowly becoming comfortable with your coworkers, with the management style. You're gradually becoming accustomed to your new job. You're getting used to your new job. So, like be used to, get used to can be followed by a noun, a pronoun, or a gerund, the ing form. And get used to can be used to talk about the present, past, or future. For example, I'm getting used to my new job. Job is a noun, and we are referring here to the present. I got used to it. It is a pronoun, and we are referring here to the past. Will you ever get used to speaking in public? Speaking is a gerund, and we are referring here to the future. When it comes to forming questions or negative statements with get used to, you can use the verb be, the helping verb do, the future forms will or be going to, or modal verbs. So you have a lot of options to choose from. So let's finish off this lesson by looking at examples that incorporate all three phrases. Alejandro used to play soccer. Now he plays American football. When he first started playing American football, it was really hard for him to adjust to this new sport. There were just too many differences between soccer and American football. He was not used to playing American football. After a couple of months, playing American football was not so strange anymore. He started to get used to it. And after a year, he got used to playing American football. Now, after playing American football for so many years, he is used to it. And this brings us to the end of this lesson. But before we go, try making your own example sentences using used to, be used to, and get used to. Write your sentences in the comment section below. That's all there is for today. Thank you, and as always, I hope you have learned something today.